Hi, I'm Joanna Caldwell at Otter Creek Yoga in Middlebury, Vermont, and this is our short practice video. We're starting each of these videos with a Yoga Sutra, and we started right at the beginning of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Yesterday we chanted Atta Yoganusasanam, which means now the teachings of yoga are presented. And today, Sutra 1.2, Patanjali doesn't waste any time. He goes right into the definition of yoga. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. The chitta is a consciousness or your mind. The vritti are movements or disturbances of the mind. And nirodha is a state of stillness. So this sutra says yoga is when we quiet the mind. Yoga is the stilling of the disturbances of the consciousness. So we're going to chant a big Om, all of us together. Then I'll chant the sutra once, and then I hope you will chant it with me 3 more times, and we'll then finish with Harihi Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Om. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Hari Om. With an exhalation, please bow the head down. Release the hands down. And with an inhale, lift the head, softly open the eyes. Okay, so after we do the gift of the Yoga Sutra, we do the awesome gift, which will be different every video. And what this is an opportunity for you to give us your feedback in the comments section. Give us your suggestions for yoga teachings you would like to see in these videos, suggestions for postures you'd like to see, questions about yoga. We will randomly draw one person each time out of those comments, and that person is going to get a physical, tangible gift in the mail. And it's going to be different every time. And today the gift is homemade deodorant. Ooh, I made it myself. It just has 4 ingredients: arrowroot powder, baking soda, coconut oil, and essential oil of jasmine. Because who doesn't want their armpits to smell like jasmine? And it's this lovely paste. It's totally natural. And you just take a tiny bit out of the jar like that and rub it in your armpits. And I have to say, my favorite thing about using this kind of deodorant, besides from the fact that it smells amazing, is that there's no plastic. I mean, this jar lid has plastic, but I use these jars you can use again and again and again. This will last you a long time, and then you can make your own and refill your jar. I'm happy to share the recipe with anybody who wants it, or you can just Google homemade deodorant. There's a million different great natural recipes out there. Okay, let's do some yoga. So I'm back with my lovely model Tayler, and we are going to start out today lying on the floor. So Taylor's going to do lying down Tadasana. Tadasana is standing mountain pose. She's going to do it lying down. So the first thing she's going to do is put her feet right together, and she's going to press her heels. Beautiful. And you see how that activates the whole leg. She presses her heels, just like when you're standing in mountain pose and you push your heels into the floor. And you feel the legs get really straight and strong, and she's got a nice lift of the chest. So now we're going to do lying down Urdhva Hastasana. That means upward reaching. Taylor's going to reach her arms first toward the ceiling with her palms facing each other. Beautiful. And then plug your arms into their sockets, and you see the back of the arm moves down. She's going to now stretch her arms away from her feet and toward the back wall. Yeah, and you can keep your palms facing each other and just give a nice stretch back into the arms. Beautiful. And as she reaches her arms away from her feet, she reaches her feet away from the arms. And you can feel how the limbs work to help you lengthen the spine. Excellent. Okay, now, Taylor, you can bring your arms back alongside you. And here's a nice thing. Everybody can try this at home. Catch the sides of your mat in your hands and roll the outer shoulders down to the floor. And you feel how that lifts your chest. And then let's all together do a really nice full breath, filling the chest with breath. And throughout our practice today, when you're exhaling, see if you can let that exhalation go all the way out. That is really the key to practicing with this sutra. Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is the quieting of the fluctuations of the mind. When you come back again and again and again to that really thorough exhalation, that's how you quiet your consciousness. Okay, so now we're going to do lying down Vrksasana. Vrksasana is tree pose, and Taylor's going to bend her right knee and go ahead and do that. And now you're going to take the sole of the foot to touch the inner thigh here. Look what I'm doing. I'm going to tuck this blanket right under Taylor's foot. Yeah. And then you have this extra bit of blanket you can tuck under your knee. Try that and see how that feels. So one of the things we're going to work on here is to keep reaching this foot. Yeah, nice and strong. And then you can you feel how your hips are a little bit uneven? Yeah, so we're going to just work a little bit as if you were going to lift the center of the bent leg buttock away from the floor. Yeah, and you can see how that's helping her even her hips. That looks great. Now keep reaching that left heel forward. Reach your arms toward the ceiling like you did before. And then plug them into their sockets and keep them real straight and go slowly, keeping them plugged into their sockets. Stretch the arms away and reach your left heel as you do it. Beautiful. You can keep your hands a little bit apart. You can separate them a little bit more. And then here, with your thumb on the floor like this and the palms facing, you just stretch into my hands here. Beautiful. Excellent. Now, you're going to lift that bent knee away from the floor. Yeah, and we're going to do it on the second side. So go ahead and stretch that right foot forward, and I'm going to move the props over. Isn't it nice to have a prop assistant coming around? So we'll put the sole of the left foot now on the blanket. Yeah, and then open the knee out. Beautiful. Maybe you can take this foot a little higher up. Yes, nice. Okay, so now, with your arms down for now, reach that inner heel forward, beautiful. And we're using the work of the legs to get that length of the spine. So taking the skull as far away from that foot that's stretching out as you can. So this is a nice length. Now, just like we did on the first side, imagine you're going to lift the center of the buttock. It's not actually going to, lift right up off the floor, but it's that action to try to lift it up. You can see her hips got so much more level. And now, just for fun, we're going to do something a little bit different with the arms. At home, if you have a chair, you can take a chair behind you. I'm going to be the chair for Taylor, and I'm going to ask Taylor to grab my ankles with her hands. Grab my ankles. Put your thumbs on the outside as well. Put your thumbs with your fingers. Oh. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to take just some teeny baby steps back. How does that feel? Does it feel nice on your shoulders? Yes. Yeah, so if you're at home, you can either ask a friend to come stand for you or grab a chair and push the chair away. And Taylor's going to reach that right foot away. Beautiful. And then she's going to relax her arms, and she's made her spine nice and long, and she's going to lift her knee away from the floor. Okay, we're going to do one more thing lying down. Go ahead and stretch both feet forward again. Okay, so now we're going to practice a variation of the pose Supta Padangusthasana. And Tayler is going to take her right leg up. And we've got this belt here. Go ahead and reach your right leg up. Yeah, and then go ahead and take a hold. So this is taking the legs straight up. If you don't have one of these yoga belts at home, just go take the belt off of your bathrobe. And we're going to prop here because the variation we're going to practice today is going out to the side. So I'm putting this folded blanket right next to her hip. She's going to keep this leg real straight. And now climb up the belt so your arms get straight. And then you're going to hold both pieces of belt in this right hand. And you're going to take this left hand out to the side. Yeah, good. So now take a breath in. And when you exhale, gently take this leg out toward me. And you don't have to go way, way down toward the floor. So people at home, do what's comfortable for you. And then she's going to reach out here. And now reach that other foot forward. Good. So you see how she's nicely staying on the center of the heel here. And then she can work to take this inner left thigh down. And I'm going to have you turn that palm down. Perfect. And press the floor. Okay, so we're just going to stay a couple more breaths. She's lengthening skull away from foot, foot away from skull, and gently turning the abdomen. Actually, the abdomen turns that way, away from this foot. Beautiful. Now you're going to inhale this leg back up to the sky, up, 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 up. And then go ahead and bend the knee and release it down. Perfect. And then we'll do the other side. So I'll move the blanket over. And she'll take her left leg up. Good. So step one is straighten your legs. Yeah, good. So you reach into this heel, you reach into this heel, and you lengthen the sides of your waist. And then step two is holding on now in the left hand. She'll take her right arm toward me, and she'll open out. And you can go a little bit slowly and think about reaching into all your limbs. So sometimes I talk about like the way small children draw the sun. They draw a circle and they draw these lines shooting out. You're kind of doing that with all of your limbs. You're like the rays of the sun shooting out from your center. And you reach into both heels, and then you can really press that palm into the floor and feel how that helps you even the two sides of your back on the floor. Very good. We're going to inhale that left leg straight up, and we're going to bend the knee and release. Take a little rest. Bend both knees. Bend both knees. Good. And just rest your back there for a moment and take a couple breaths. And at home, nice, smooth breaths in and out. So now Taylor's going to roll to either side and sit up, and she's going to come and stand, and we're going to do a couple more things. So let's see. First, I'm going to have you take these blocks. Ooh. We're going to practice a variation of downward dog where your hands are on the blocks. So let's try this. Put your hands on those blocks and then step your feet back. And you're going to really push the blocks down into the floor. Excellent. Yeah. Now let's go like a hip distance apart with the feet. And go, how about if you go back like 3 more inches with your feet? Does it feel like the blocks will hold or they're slipping? Okay. I'm going to brace them. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I always say this is like if you were doing downward dog and you had extra long arms. And it just gives you some nice movement back into the hips. You can really pull your hips up and away from your hands. So people at home, if you don't have a friend to hold your blocks like this, sometimes they will stay. It kind of depends what kind of yoga mat you have. But you could also put them against a wall. So I'm just being a wall here for Tayler, and Taylor's pulling the hips away really nicely. Okay, so now, Tayler, you're going to come closer to the blocks, and we're going to practice Uttanasana. So you can just walk your feet or hop your feet up here. Yeah, that's good. So now go ahead and take your feet a hip distance apart. And remember what we practiced before. Perfect, she's doing it. She brought her weight toward the front of the foot, and now she's drawing up beautifully on the legs, going for those nice straight legs. See if you come on your fingertips, you may be able to get your legs even straighter. Yes. And then again at home, if you're stiff, take the taller blocks. Okay, very good. So now we're going to practice Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. We did this one before. So you're going to stand all the way up. Go ahead and stand up. And I'll take one block and put it over here. Okay. And I'm going to have you face that way. And you're going to bring your fingertips together like this. And come a little bit forward with your feet. And then what we're going to do is jump out like that and hit the arms and legs. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3, jump. Beautiful. Now turn the right foot that way. Okay, good. So everybody, people at home, look down at your feet and line up the heel of your front foot with the arch of your back foot. Pull up strongly on this right leg. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhaling, reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. And you can put your hand on your shin or the block, whichever one you like. Nice. Okay, so we're going to add an action that we practiced lying down. When Tayler was doing the tree pose lying down, I gave the instruction about moving the center of the buttock away from the floor. So that's this front leg. You want to take the center of the buttock forward. Yes, and roll these top ribs back. Very good. And then to come up, I want you all at home to imagine somebody's got a hold of your forearm like this. We're going to come up together. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, up we come. Isn't that nice? And then turn the feet for the second side. So now the left toes turning out. You look at home, look and see that you're lining up the heel of the front foot with the arch of the back foot, and then big reach out into the arms, inhale. And Tayler's going to pull up strongly here. Good. And then reach and come to your block. Very nice. Okay, and then again, second side. So the front leg buttock, you're taking it away from me. And you're turning the inner thigh back toward me, taking the buttock away from me. Good. And then she reaches up strongly here, and she rolls these right ribs back. Beautiful. Ready to come up? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, reach up. Good. Now make your feet parallel to each other. Keep reaching the arms. Get ready to jump. You're going to jump your feet together, fingertips together. 1, 2, 3, jump. Beautiful. And then Tadasana. Yeah, so that's right. So then when you stand in Tadasana, practice bringing the weight a little bit back into the heels and lifting up through the crown of the head. Really nice. And now we get to sit down. Yay! So we're going to sit on a blanket here. And a general rule is if you're stiff in the backs of the legs, you sit on more height. If you're more flexible in the backs of the legs, you sit on less. She's pretty flexible, so we'll just give her a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and just stretch your feet forward. Good, and then we're going to work first with the belt. She's going to have that on her feet. And step 1 is lifting the chest, lifting the side ribs. Beautiful. And then I'm going to have you see if you can keep that nice lift of the chest, but walk your hands a little closer to your feet. So you just kind of walk on the belt. Yeah, just like that. You just kind of creep forward. So here she's starting to come forward a little bit, which is nice. And you see that she is still lifting her chest very nicely. Perfect. So then everybody press the tops of your thighs down. So people at home, if you're stiff in the backs of the legs, you are sitting on more height, and you're maybe up a little higher and using more belt. And those who have more flexibility in the backs of the legs, you are maybe coming very, very close to your feet or even catching your feet. Okay, good. Now from here, we're going to lift the chest. Inhale. We're going to exhale and bend the elbows and bow the head. We're going to inhale back up. Nice lift of the chest. Exhale, bend the elbows, bow the head. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to make a small adjustment using these blocks. I'm going to have you just separate your feet a little bit more. Good, perfect. And we're going to try this. You can put this back on your feet. Okay, so can you bow your head here? Bend your elbows. You can. Okay, so move it in a little closer. So see if you can support your forehead. Nice. And then I bet you can walk your hands closer to your feet. Creep along the belt. Yeah, yes, you can absolutely catch. That looks great, okay? So people at home, another way to do this is with your head resting on the seat of a chair. And if that's not comfortable, you put some more height on the seat of a chair. Get creative. Grab a cushion off your couch or something firm, some firm folded blankets. If you have one of these yoga blocks, you can put that up on the chair. So the idea is that you modify this for what you need, okay? And we talked in the beginning about yogas chitta vritti nirodha, that yoga is the quieting of the fluctuations of the mind. In asana practice, a really lovely way to experience that is with a head support like Tayler is showing here. There's something about having your skull physically supported on a prop like this, whether it's a block or a blanket or a chair, that allows your brain to get really quiet. Okay, so now Taylor's going to inhale and sit all the way up and see if your brain feels quiet. A little. That's good. And then I think we're going to just do one last seated posture here, which is janushirasana. So we're going to revisit that position that we did before where you had one leg bent. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And then now this, you can see her knee is coming very close to the floor. So she almost doesn't really need anything, but you can do that. Some people, when they sit like this, I'm just going to show, sometimes the knee's really high. So the first thing to try would be to sit up on quite a bit more height. And then you also can, again, use your props to support as needed. If your knee's really low to the floor like that, you probably don't need that. Okay, so now I'm going to mirror you. Okay, so what we're going to do is put this hand, that's your left hand, right, on the floor, and raise the other hand up. And reaching up, you're going to lengthen that side of the waist. Good. And then just a little bit, not your head, but your abdomen, you turn a little bit that way. Good. And then we're going to reach. And here you can use the belt or catch. She's catching the foot, so that's great. Catch the other side of the foot. Yeah. Now press this hand on the floor down and lift your chest. Good. Now look at your foot. You're going to move your hand to the big toe side. Move the other hand to the little toe side. Now she's holding her foot nicely, but I'm just going to demonstrate if the backs of the legs are tight, you use the belt. Yeah? And we're going to lift the chest with an inhale. And with an exhale, just like before, bend the elbows, bow the head. Okay, so people who are stiff, when you go, let's do it 3 more times, Tayler. So if you're stiff, you're going to be more like this, and you're bowing your head. It's really, might feel like it's really just the head. People who have more flexibility, you go ahead and go for it, yeah? Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, going down. Okay. And then see how stable this straight leg can be, how much you can press the back of the leg into the floor. Observe the breath. And then with the inhale, we're going to gently lift up. It's really good practice to take your hand under the bent knee and lift it with your hand away from the floor. Good. And stretch that leg forward. Beautiful. And then let's do the other side. Okay, nice. So then, just since you did it, it'll take just a little bit of support under your knee. You could even, yeah, that's great. Okay, so now, yeah, you don't need very much at all. Okay, so now we're going to take the hand down on the straight leg side, press the floor. Other side, you lift. You get maximum height here on that side of your rib cage. Inhale, turn just a little. So you're turning your abdomen to face your straight leg. Lift the chest. Good, but you can look forward at this foot. And then come forward, and we're going to go for the little toe side. And then press your other hand into the floor and lift the chest. Turn your abdomen a little bit away from your bent leg. Good, and then move your hand to the big toe side. And then see if you can close that little tunnel. Yeah, and then catch. And then inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, bow. Good, and then let's go with motion. Inhaling to lift. Keep this thigh down, down, down. Exhaling to go. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to go. And let's just stay here a few breaths with the elbows going out. Very nice. And the crown of the head goes forward. Nice pose. And then with your inhale, from here, you lift the chest. Good. And then we're going to use the hand again under the bent knee and lift that bent knee right up. Good. Okay, time to rest. And you're going to rest with your head on this pillow as a pillow. And you're going to start like this. Actually, I would keep it like it was. You don't need a very big pillow. Yeah, and your head will be on that, and your knees are going to be bent to start. Yeah. So now wiggle that way, so it's just under your neck and head. Yeah. Is that comfortable? Yeah. Okay, great. And then we're going to catch the sides of the mat with your hands and roll the outer shoulders down. Good, beautiful. And then go ahead and stretch your legs forward. So one of the things when you're lying down in Shavasana, you will get more relaxed if you imagine a stripe down the middle of your mat and that you're putting your spine on that stripe. So we're going to make a very small adjustment here. You're going to bend your knees again. And then come toward me. And now relax the legs. So that was just to help her be like super on the midline here. Now you're going to turn the palms up. And yeah, good. And maybe even take your arms just a little bit away, nice, from your sides. So that creates this lovely, relaxed position. She's going to now allow her legs to release all the effort of the practice and allow her arms to release all the effort of the practice. And we're going to come back to the breath. And each time that you're exhaling, you can let your exhalation help you to let go a little bit more. So when we first lie down in Shavasana, there's this kind of initial release, like, oh yay, I get to lie down and that feels really nice. And your body starts to let go and starts to rest. Then as we stay in the pose a little bit longer, that letting go starts to happen at a deeper level. So there's kind of like a surface relaxation that happens, and then over time as we stay in the pose, a deeper letting go. And sometimes we realize when we've been there a little while, like, oh, I didn't even realize I was holding some tension there in my shoulder, and I can release it. Or I didn't even realize my jaw was a little bit tight, and I can let go there. See if you can let the skin across your forehead relax from the center of your forehead out toward your temples. See See if you could let your scalp itself relax and release. And as the back of your skull releases into the blanket or the yoga mat, you see if you could even find the sense that your brain itself is releasing back toward the back of the skull, away from your face. Letting go of all tension, letting your body rest and release. It's always fine to pause the video and spend a little more time, 5 to 10 minutes, as needed, as desired. And we're going to be coming out of Shavasana now. I think it's a really nice practice when you're getting ready to come out to take a few extra deep breaths in. Deep penetrating breaths. And then with an exhalation, bend the knees one at a time. So as you're ready, Tayler, with an exhale, you bend the knees one at a time. Take all the time you need. And once you have both knees bent, take another really deep penetrating breath like that. And with your exhale, go gently over to one side. Super gentle. And you could even pull your knees up a little toward your chest. Beautiful. And that brings some nice length into the low back. And here on the side, you observe the effects of your practice. And then you can use your hands to gently press yourself up to sit. And namaste. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with us. Oh, I'm supposed to say, subscribe. What's the other thing you're supposed to say? Like and subscribe and comment. Yes, comment. And remember, if you leave a comment, you might win the awesome prize. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. See you soon.